Hello, today I want to talk about the Russell Reconstitution. It is July, which means we just saw this year's Reconstitution back in June. What you want to do is you want to start by just ranking all the securities out there that are deemed to be, US companies by market cap. Here we see the top 10, Apple at the top, and we just keep going down. In fact, if you're Russell, you go down and you're doing this for over 3,400 names, and then they segregate this into a number of different universes. If you have all of them, that's going to be the Russell 3000E or the Russell 3000 extended universe out there. If you take just the top 3,000, that's going to be the Russell 3000, which is kind of an all cap universe that does exclude these really, really tiny names. If you want to break that down, then you've got, the large cap, that's going to be the top 1,000 names, the Russell 1000 there. And then you can even break down that 1,000 into the top 50, the 50 biggest names out there, the top 200, the 200 largest names out there. And then what we have here is kind of the mid cap, which is the smallest 800 in that largest 1,000. Interesting to note here that unlike the S&P 500, mid cap is part of the large cap universe. So in the S&P, you'll see like the top 500, and then the next 400 are going to be mid cap. So different in that aspect. You can go, well, if it's not the top 1,000, not the large cap, well, then that's the small cap universe, the Russell 2000. If you want to look at kind of a small mid cap universe, that is the not the 500, not top 500 ones out there. So the 25 smaller names in that Russell 3000. Finally, the micro cap index, that's going to be the bottom half of the small cap plus all those really small companies out there. That's micro cap. So the thing to keep in mind here is that ranking is constantly changing, right? So then the question is, well, how often does Russell do this reconstitution, given the fact that that list is constantly changing? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Well, no, it turns out they only do it annually. So in May, they kind of set the list, and they do some periodic updates in June. So on the Fridays in June, they'll make some small changes. And then finally, the last Friday of June, they do this massive annual rebalance. Now, I find this very problematic because of all these changes. What you find is in May, before the reconstitution, that these indexes, these benchmarks no longer really represent what they're supposed to. They're no longer truly a large cap benchmark. They're no longer truly a mid cap. They're no longer truly a small cap because some of these market caps really, really change. I did just a quick analysis and found, a name that was in the 1,000 was actually almost the smallest company out there. And so this is very problematic. In my opinion, they should be making these changes, more often, quarterly, something like that. We have the technology out there. This is pretty easy. We should be making these changes more often so that the benchmarks reflect what managers are trying to actually do. That's it for today. Happy trading out there. Thank you so much. I'm Brian Kozlowski.